We've got some breaking news into CBS Sports HQ. Just 10 months after the car wreck, Tiger Woods announcing he will compete in next week's PNC Championship with his son, Charlie. The event will take place next weekend, December 18th and 19th. Tiger surprising everyone this morning by taking to social media saying, "Although it's been a long and challenging year, I'm very excited to close it out by competing in the PNC Championship with my son, Charlie. I'm playing as a dad and couldn't be more excited and proud." All right, let's welcome in our CBS Sports golf analyst, Doug Bell. So, Doug, everyone wondered if and when Tiger Woods would return, and now we have word he will be playing in the PNC Championship. They're calling it an unofficial PGA Tour Championship event. So what exactly is this event?
Well, Jen, first off, the comeback story is underway, and it could be one of the most remarkable comeback stories in the history of sports if indeed he continues to progress and maybe wins again, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. What this means is he's back playing competitive golf again. He hinted at this last week at the Hero World Challenge. He was the host of that event and then went out on the range and showed off a pretty good golf swing and was hitting drives with full force. So very exciting. We were hoping he would say, yes, I'm going to play with Charlie again in the PNC Challenge. And we heard today he's going to do it next week. The ratings are going to be phenomenal. The excitement surrounding the event will be unlike it's over the last 20 years it's ever had this much excitement. He did play with Charlie last year, who's 12 years old, an adorable young kid who swings just like his dad. But again, this is competition. Tiger's going to be back in the fold. And from what we understand, he won't be hitting a lot of drives. Charlie gets to play from the up tees because he's 12 years old. So it's an alternate shot team event. 20 major champions play with their sons or their daughters, or in Justin Thomas's case, the defending champion, he plays with his dad, Mike. So it's a special event. It's a fun event. But the fact that Tiger Woods, the GOAT, is back in competitive golf, this is huge news. And I, like everybody else who loves the game and loves Tiger, I can't wait to watch.
Let's break down this event just a little bit more. Do you know if he'll be able to use a golf cart? Is he going to have to walk the course? Obviously, after the car wreck, that's a major question.
Yeah, great question. And he will be able to use a golf cart, and I think he'll take advantage of that. Again, this is a fun event. This isn't a serious event, although Tiger Woods is a competitive guy, and he was laughing a few weeks ago in a junior tournament because Charlie actually threw a club in a junior tournament when he got upset after a bad shot, and Tiger said, "I love it." So these are two competitive people, so it'll be fun. They want to go out and have a good time, but Tiger will use the golf cart. And Jen, what we saw last week when he was hitting balls on the range at the Hero World Challenge, he uses a golf cleat with his left shoe, and then Nike has a special shoe for his right foot because his right leg after the surgery is just a little bit shorter than the other leg. So this right shoe is a little more elevated. It does not have cleats on the bottom of the right shoe because he doesn't want to get that leg stuck into the ground, so it slides if it has to give a little bit or if the turf is wet. So it'll be fun to watch this. Tiger with special shoes, special cleats, in a golf cart, playing with his son. And I just want to see him swing again. What we saw last week in the video on the range is the golf swing, which has always been one of the best in the history of the game. Looks very fluid, looks great. He admitted that he can't go full bore just yet, but I think we're inching closer to a return to some really competitive golf for Tiger Woods. Next week is the first step.
There's some great notes right there. And as you mentioned, the first round of competitive golf in nearly a year. So we didn't even know if he could play a full round. And obviously the focus is going to be Charlie here. But what are your expectations for Tiger?
Well, if you know Tiger, Jen, and you've seen him play, you've seen him with these big tournaments, he's a competitive guy. And even though this is a fun and giggles event, that's how they describe it, these major champions get out there and they want to win. The competitive nature kicks in, and it certainly will for Tiger. His son is a competitive golfer at 12 and has already won some junior events. They want to go out there and do well. They don't want to go out there and be embarrassed. So I suspect that they'll have fun, but they're going to be competitive. And again, we'll be watching Tiger. Charlie will hit those drives, but then how's Tiger going to hit it up there on the green with the approach shots? And of course, putting is Tiger's forte, so we'll see what happens. They're going to have fun, but I think they're going to be competitive. And again, let's watch next week and see what the next tournament is for Tiger. That's the deal. Could he be ready for the Masters in April? He hinted at the Open Championship next July and danced around the question about the Masters, but I think that's what we all want to know. Will this lead to maybe a warm-up event, which will ultimately lead to maybe a return at the Masters in April? I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm excited.
I think all golf fans are thinking that exact same thing. And as you mentioned, when he even came out on social media with that video, taking some swings at the Hero World Challenge, everyone went nuts. So what do you think that this means to him to be able to go out there and compete?
Well, I think, Jen, what we're seeing is last week he was cautious. Now, listen, it was an open Tiger. He answered all the questions. He had a lot of fun. And as he gets older, now almost 46 years of age, we're seeing a kinder, gentler Tiger Woods. It happens with all athletes and coaches as they get older, and family takes an important role in their lives. But I think what we're seeing is a guy who is probably more ahead of schedule than he's letting on. And we saw that, glimpses of that when he was hitting on the range. We're going to see more of that next week when he's actually in competition. I suspect Tiger Woods is ahead of the game. I think the swing is in good stead. We'll see that. The question for Tiger as he continues to heal that right leg, can he walk 4 rounds of competitive golf? That won't be the case next week. He'll be in a golf cart, but down the line, he's going to have to start walking. And if we're talking about a return to the Masters, again, one of the most undulated golf courses anywhere on the PGA Tour, those hills are pretty severe. So Tiger has to get ready for that. The walk over 4 days, can the leg sustain that? A lot of pressure on that leg, so we'll see what happens. But Jen, I really believe that he's ahead of the game. And I think, listen, we may see him a half a dozen times next year, and I can't wait for those 6 events.
I know every golf fan out there just got so excited when they heard the news that Tiger Woods is coming back, even if it's for this event. It's just exciting to see. We'll see what happens in the future. Doug, thank you so much for joining us. As always, the PNC Championship, it'll take place next Saturday and Sunday. That's December 18th and 19th. And for more, you got to tune into the First Cut podcast. It's an insider's look at the PGA Tour. First Cut takes you inside the ropes of the golf world on the PGA Tour and beyond. And you better believe they're going to be talking about Tiger Woods. You got to tune in today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.